Welcome to my channel, Hotspot with Loveth, the ultimate spot for all things entertainment, ranging from celebrity gists, reviews, interesting stories, and African folktales. Subscribe now. Nia arrived at Konda Estate with a hopeful heart and a determined spirit. Her graceful beauty and quiet confidence quickly caught the attention of many, but she was particularly drawn to Kwame, the brooding and mysterious man who seemed to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders. Despite his gruff exterior and apparent disdain for women, Nia saw something in Kwame that intrigued her deeply. In her early days in Akonda, Nia tried to get close to Kwame. She greeted him warmly whenever their paths crossed. Coincidentally, where she got an apartment was just the building next to Kwame's house. That made it easy for her to try to get close to him. She would offer him help with tasks and even brought him meals as tokens of friendship. However, Kwame's reaction was always the same: cold, indifference, and outright dismissal. He made it clear, through his actions and words, that he had no interest in her friendship. Hurt, but undeterred, Nia decided to stop trying. She believed in her self-worth and knew that she deserved better than to chase someone who didn't appreciate her. One evening, Nia decided to visit a local bar, hoping to unwind and enjoy some time to herself. As she walked in, she immediately caught the eye of Jabulani, Kwame's childhood and best friend, who was sitting with Kwame sharing a drink and their usual banter. Jabulani was instantly mesmerized by her modest beauty and the confident way she carried herself. He couldn't take his eyes off her as she made her way to the bar counter and ordered a drink and a plate of chicken. Without a second thought, Jabulani signaled the waitress and offered to pay Nia's order. He watched her from a distance, his heart pounding with anticipation. When Nia was done eating and went to settle her bill, she was pleasantly surprised to find that it had already been taken care of. Curious and appreciative, she approached Jabulani to thank him. "Thank you for paying for my meal. That was very kind of you," she said with a warm smile. Jabulani stood up, a bit flustered but pleased. "My pleasure. I'm Jabulani, by the way." "Nia," she replied, extending her hand. They shook hands and for a moment, their eyes locked, a spark passing between them. As Nia turned to leave, Jabulani felt an urgent need to see her again. He quickly followed her out of the bar and caught up with her just outside. "Nia, wait. I know this might be forward, but would you mind giving me your number? I'd love to get to know you better." Nia considered his request for a moment, then smiled and handed him her number. "Sure, Jabulani, call me sometime." With that, she walked away, leaving Jabulani feeling elated. He returned to his seat, a triumphant smile on his face. Kwame, having observed the interaction, frowned deeply. "What are you doing, Jabulani?" Kwame asked, his voice laced with disapproval. "What do you mean?" Jabulani replied, still grinning. "That girl, Nia, she's not worth it," Kwame said dismissively. "She's tried making advances on me a few times, and I wasn't interested. She is just looking for attention." Jabulani raised an eyebrow, surprised by Kwame's harsh judgment. "It is not a crime for a girl to shoot a shot at someone she likes, Kwame. Maybe she saw something in you that she liked. It's good you rejected her because that works in my favor. That girl looks responsible and is also drop-dead gorgeous." Kwame shrugged, uninterested in further discussion. Jabulani, however, was more intrigued than ever. That evening, within the comfort of his home, Jabulani called Nia. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, and they found themselves talking for hours. They shared stories about their lives, their dreams, and their thoughts. From that night on, they communicated regularly, building a friendship that was underpinned by a strong and undeniable connection. As weeks passed, Nia and Jabulani grew closer. They spent more time together, enjoying each other's company and discovering shared interests. Jabulani admired Nia's intelligence and kindness, while Nia found solace in Jabulani's warmth and positivity. Their relationship blossomed, much to the dismay of Kwame, who began to see Nia in a new light. Kwame, despite his initial resistance, couldn't ignore the positivity he saw in Nia through her relationship with Jabulani. He noticed her generosity, her patience, and her unwavering spirit. Slowly, he began to regret his earlier dismissals and found himself increasingly drawn to her. This new attraction confused and frustrated him, but he couldn't shake it off. One evening, unable to suppress his feelings any longer, Kwame approached Nia in front of her house. "How may I help you?" Nia asked. He took a deep breath and mustered the courage to speak. "Nia," he began, his voice softer than usual. "I've been thinking a lot about you lately. I realize I've been harsh and unfair to you. I'd like to start over if you're willing to give me another chance. Nia looked at him with an unreadable expression. She remembered all the times Kwame had ignored and dismissed her. Kwame, I appreciate your honesty, but I've moved on. I found happiness with Jabulani and I'm not interested in starting something new with you. Kwame's face fell, but he nodded, accepting her decision. I understand. I just wanted you to know that I'm sorry. Later that evening, Nia told Jabulani about Kwame's advances. She felt it was important to be honest, even if it might cause tension. Jabulani listened, his face darkening with concern. So, Kwame tried to make a move on you, Jabulani asked, struggling to keep his composure. Yes, but I made it clear to him that I'm with you and that I'm not interested in him, Nia assured him. Jabulani sighed, a mix of emotions swelling within him. He loved Kwame like a brother, but he couldn't ignore the breach of trust. The next day, Jabulani confronted Kwame. Kwame, we need to talk, Jabulani said with a serious tone. Nia told me you tried to make advances towards her. Kwame looked down ashamed. I know, Jabulani, I'm sorry. I realized too late what I was missing. Jabulani, furious, said, Kwame, I understand that feelings can be complicated, but what you did was wrong. Nia is with me now, and you need to respect that. Kwame nodded, feeling the weight of his actions. I do respect that. I'm sorry, Jabulani. I don't want to lose our friendship. Jabulani placed a hand on Kwame's shoulder. I don't want to either. But we need to set boundaries. Nia and I are building something special and I need you to respect our relationship. Kwame agreed, and though there was a lingering tension, they worked through it, preserving their friendship. Kwame learned to appreciate the love Jabulani and Nia shared and focused on becoming a better friend and person. Nia and Jabulani's relationship continued to flourish, built on trust, respect, and mutual admiration. They often talked about the future, dreaming of a life together in Ekonda. Kwame, though still grappling with his own feelings, found solace in their happiness and in his journey towards self-improvement. In the end, the tale of Nia, Kwame and Jabulani was one of growth and understanding. It was a story of how love, in its many forms, could forgive and bring people closer together, even when the path was fraught with challenges. And as the sun set over the estate of Ekonda, casting a golden hue over their lives, they knew that they had found something truly special. A bond that could withstand the test of time. And guys, this is the end of the story, Love Triangle, a tale of Nia, Kwame, and Jabulani. Hope you enjoyed it.